While thousands died and gas prices doubled across the world, someone was getting very, very rich. We're going to follow the money today, because behind every missile fired, every tanker stranded in the Strait of Hormuz, and every spike at your gas pump, there is a financial winner. And in the case of this war on Iran, the winners are making out like nothing we've seen in a generation. So who exactly profits when America goes to war? The answer involves defense giants, oil majors, prediction market gamblers, and a cast of characters whose connections to the people running this war raise questions that no one in Washington wants to answer on the record. Stick with us, because what we're about to lay out is not conspiracy. It is documented, it is sourced, and it should make your blood boil. Let's set the scene. On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury, a sweeping military campaign against Iran. Within days, Iran retaliated by doing something the world had long feared but never actually seen. It closed the Strait of Hormuz. That narrow strip of water, barely 33 kilometers wide at its tightest point, carries roughly 1/5 of all the world's traded oil. When it shut, the global energy market went into freefall. Brent crude surged past $107 a barrel. Gas prices in Europe doubled. Asian nations began rationing fuel. The head of the International Energy Agency called it the greatest global energy security crisis in recorded history. According to multiple reports, the United States is spending an average of $1.8 billion per day prosecuting this war. Every single day. That is more than the entire annual budget of many countries. And that money doesn't vanish into thin air. It flows somewhere, to someone, to specific companies, to specific people. Meanwhile, at the pump, at the grocery store, in heating bills across Europe and Asia, ordinary people are absorbing the shock. 2 months into the conflict, the death toll in Iran has surpassed 3,500. Some 1,600 vessels and 20,000 seafarers remain stranded in the Gulf. And yet, somewhere in this human catastrophe, a very different story is playing out on Wall Street, and it starts with one of the oldest professions in wartime, making weapons. Operation Epic Fury drew on more than 20 distinct weapon systems: Tomahawk cruise missiles fired from Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, V-2 stealth bombers, precision strike missiles launched from HIMARS systems, Patriot missile batteries, THAAD systems. Each one of those weapon systems has a manufacturer. Each manufacturer has shareholders. And those shareholders have had a very good 2 months. Lockheed Martin, the world's largest defense contractor, saw its stock price rise by nearly 40% since the start of 2026. Northrop Grumman saw its share price surge 6% in a single day of trading, adding billions to its market value overnight. RTX surged. BAE Systems in London jumped around 6% on the very first day of the conflict. One analyst explained it bluntly. Defense spending was already set to surge in 2026, and a protracted war with Iran will make the spending more urgent and less controversial. Market sentiment summed it up even more directly. War can be good for business. And here is the darkest part of that equation. The greatest threat to investors in these companies is not escalation. It's peace. When peace talks resume, defense stocks tend to fall. Right now, analysts are telling clients there is no imminent threat of peace. Think about what that means. When the Strait of Hormuz closed, oil prices shot up more than 50%. Certain players cleaned up. BP's first quarter profit more than doubled year on year to $3.2 billion. Shell's trading desks posted dramatically higher profits. Non-Gulf energy producers suddenly found themselves in a seller's market. Meanwhile, Exxon, with significant exposure to the region, saw a 45% drop in profits, proof that even in war, not everyone wins equally. Before the war, Russia's oil revenues had collapsed by nearly 50%. Then the strait closed. Suddenly, global buyers turned back to alternative suppliers. Russian crude flipped from a steep discount to a premium. Russia didn't fire a shot. It didn't need to. Prediction markets saw massive activity. An anonymous account made over $500,000 betting on a leadership change in Iran just hours before it happened. Another trader won 93% of their bets tied to military operations. $500 million was traded on whether the U.S. would strike Iran. On the day a ceasefire was announced, dozens of newly created accounts placed bets minutes before the public announcement. Massive oil futures trades also appeared shortly before official statements. Financial ties between political figures and these platforms have raised serious concerns. Investigations into prediction markets were dropped. Analysts estimate that over $140 million in profits may be linked to insider information. Lawmakers have raised alarms about individuals profiting from war-related information. Zoom out for a moment. This is not just about greed. It's about incentives. Defense contractors see surging stock prices. Oil companies report record profits. Russia stabilizes its economy. Traders make millions from well-timed bets. Meanwhile, ordinary people face rising costs for fuel, food, and energy. An economist summarized it clearly. Risk is socialized downward to consumers, while upside is concentrated upwards. This is not a glitch. This is how the system operates. Globally, the impact is uneven. Some nations face severe economic strain, fuel shortages, and evacuations, while others are better insulated. Here's where things become more unsettling. Many of the profitable trades are anonymous. Platforms operate offshore. Regulatory oversight is limited. Investigations have stalled. The key question remains unanswered. Did individuals with access to sensitive information use it to profit? The patterns suggest the possibility, but proof remains out of reach. Even within Iran, power structures have adapted. Sanctions and conflict have often strengthened certain internal groups economically, while ordinary citizens suffer. Efforts to regulate these markets are ongoing, but progress is slow. Here is what we know. The U.S. is spending $1.8 billion a day. Defense contractors are thriving. Certain oil companies are posting record profits. Russia has benefited economically. Prediction market traders have made massive gains. At the same time, ordinary people around the world are paying the price. None of this is normal. Some of it may be questionable. All of it raises a deeper question. In a system where uncertainty and conflict are monetized, who has an incentive for the war to end? Peace talks remain fragile. The situation is unresolved, and the financial machinery continues to operate. The bombs may pause. The markets do not. Somewhere right now, trades are being placed, investments are being made, and decisions are being anticipated. Follow the money. The world is watching.